And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Boulder Burst game. Hold the water back with a teetering stack. This is based on the cartoon The Lion Guard, which is an offshoot of The Lion King. And I gotta be honest, I saw this and I thought, right, because I think that about a lot of games when I go buy them at the store. But when I looked at the back of the box, it looked pretty cool. You're dropping balls in and moving out these boulders. And I thought, great. Now, it shows young kids on here, but at the same time, I thought, well, Jenga mixed with dropping balls? That sounds like a pretty cool concept to drop ping pong balls and type stuff. And, you know, the dam bursting and the water coming out. So I was hoping it was good. Let's take a look at it. So to start the game out, you're going to build a wall here. There's these bricks, and they actually fit in here kind of snugly. It's not that loose, and for some reason they put this line here on top of the bricks, and I think that's to hold them into place a little bit, but they're pretty snug, so if you try to pull a brick out, it's very easy to push the whole wall over. So on your turn, you can either take one of these water balls, which are basically blue ping pong balls. They're a little bit harder than a ping pong ball, maybe like a plastic ball, but they're about the same size, and you can drop it in behind like that. So you're dropping these in. That could be one thing that you do on your turn, and you can see that dropping those in really does not do much to doing it at all. So usually players are going to want to choose that option. Or you can take a brick here, pull it out by the handle carefully, and place it on top. And so players can slowly pull bricks out and put them on top. Now, you will notice that as you pull these bricks out from here and place them on top, you can place them in this stacked position like this, but there is no place to put one in here. So eventually you're gonna run into a hard time putting these out. And as you put more of them on here, dropping the balls in might make something fall out. You can actually see the water peeking through. And so as players pull these out, eventually some of the bricks are going to fall over. So 3 bricks have fallen out, but we're going to keep going until 6 bricks have fallen out. And at that point, the game is going to be over. And the last person who took a turn without causing the dam to burst wins. So the dam has not burst here yet. Of course, dropping those in might cause more bricks to fall out at that point. Because if these ever come out, players have the chance to put these in again, which they might choose to do rather than taking a brick out. And so you keep going until eventually the whole thing falls and the dam bursts. Oh boy, you know, this game has such cool premise, but it has a major problem in it. Mechanically is not as cool as I think the designers intended. It should be the kind of setup where if you drop a ball and that might push the blocks over, or if you pull a block out, that might drop them over. But because the blocks are in there so snugly, pulling them out will almost always drop it. So every game of this I've ever played, since you have the option to drop a ball in or pull a brick, it's ball, 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 until they're all in and nothing still moves. The ball doesn't move. And then you start pulling them out. And eventually, because you have to stack it so weirdly at the top, everything falls out. And it's unfortunate because you think that they could have easily designed it to make those bricks a little looser so that you could pull them out and the whole thing might still stay together. As it is, most of the time it's going to fall over because little kids' hands are going to go in there and pull and the whole wall is going to just shatter and fall. And yes, it's cool when it falls to see the balls pour out, but if the ball's pouring out, that's a cool effect, right? But why have that whole thing of dropping them in when there's really no dangers? I mean, I'm like throwing them in and trying to mess it up, you know, when I'm showing how it works to show you that it falls, and even then it still usually won't do it. If you had to alternate each turn, like say, hey, pull a brick, then put a ball in, pull a brick, that would be more interesting. But even that, it still just doesn't give the same kind of thing. I like the idea, yeah, build a brick wall and have it kind of as you're doing things might pour out, and that's a bad thing. That's a cool variation on Jenga, right? But this just doesn't do that. You know, I went into this thinking, they threw this license on some weird game. And that is what they did, but then I thought, wow, the game could be better than that. But unfortunately, it's not. So this one, folks, I think you probably shouldn't get. Dice Tower Judgment, cool idea, but no.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!